So there's this guy on YouTube named Steven Crowder. He hosts a somewhat popular podcast. I think he was on TV once, I think. I don't know much about him, but he attempted to debunk Adam Ruins Everything and failed in normal idiot fashion. Let's watch.
It's me. Yes, they are, because it's estimated that between 27 and 40% of all undocumented immigrants in America came here on planes.
27 to 40% of our people coming on planes, he goes on to say, overstaying their visas. Got it. Have you done the math yet? That means at minimum 60% of illegal immigration doesn't occur from planes and visas.
I might go into more detail about this later, I might not. But I want you to notice how the security guard said nobody's getting past him. Adam's point was people are getting past him. Just not them. Just not the complete majority.
Adam Ruins Everything is a show. I've actually really liked Adam Ruins Everything on quite a few things. They've taken some sort of, I guess, libertarian stances, but generally speaking, it's pretty informative. This is one where they were completely wrong. If you're listening to it, it could sound plausible, what he says, but I've got some information here that might just smack you over the head. So let's roll the first clip.
I like how smack you over the head sounds in this case.
La verdad es que la pared no lograría nada. Building a wall would actually increase the number of illegal immigrants in America.
Nope.
What? How could it possibly?
Here, I'll show you.
First off, that is not true. Let me tell you something here. A book that I recommend. It's up on my page, Stolen Sovereignty, How to Stop Unelected Judges from Transferring America. Daniel Horowitz. He talks about illegal immigration quite a bit in a way that is very informative and very enlightening.
No one's getting...
Okay, good to know, but I don't have that book right next to me, so I have no clue how valid your point is right now, Steven Crowder. So this point is a neutral, but because you're an idiot, I'm going to assume it's wrong.
Hey, it's me. Yes, they are, because it's estimated that between 27 and 40% of all undocumented immigrants in America came here on planes. I forgot about planes.
And that's just said so flippantly, right? Oh, building a wall because 27 to 40% of our people coming on planes, he goes on to say, overstaying their visas. Got it. Have you done the math yet? That means at minimum 60% of illegal immigration doesn't occur from planes and visas.
Some would call that a majority, Stephen.
Okay, who's the other guy here? I'm not doing a video on him, I'm doing a video on Steven Crowder.
73%.
Up to 73%? Where'd you get that?
At least not planes and visas. So here's the deal. Does it mean that a wall will fix everything? No one's saying that. But if you could have some sort of an effect on, let's use the most conservative figure, 60% of illegal immigration by his own admission, how is that not significant enough to build a wall? Joe Rogan talks about this. If you had a ham sandwich that was 60% crap and 40% ham, you'd probably want to do something about the crap. It's still 60% crap. So the number there right off the bat.
It's like most hot dogs. That's the percentage.
That's just true.
Well, actually, this is more accurate, too. You got 60% of criminals doing something, and then someone's like, this will solve everything. And that's obviously wrong when you take into account what hyperbole is. And oh my god, I can't believe I have to explain this to somebody. Do I have to explain to you what the word nobody means, Steven Crowder? Do I?
The number right there, right off the bat, should concern you. It debunks the entire argument. If you believe that even curbing that pesky little 60 to 70% is worthwhile, you don't even need to watch the rest of the video. I do. I assume many of you do. Let's assume you say, you know what? I'll give them 60 to 70%.
It would easily be one of the single most expensive pieces of infrastructure in American history, costing as much as 20 Hoover dams or NASA's entire annual budget.
Just an annual budget?
So not that
Just
much.
one?
Okay, Steven Crowder, well, you pay for it then if it's not that much. Even then, I thought you were a right-wing commentator. Aren't those usually against taxes? I am not really sure on your stance on taxes. I'm going to assume you're against them for the sake of this argument. I know Trump's against taxes, so there's really no one it's going to be paid for. And I've talked about that on this channel. Look at my video. How does Donald Trump plan to pay for his plan? I say there is no physical way he can even pay for this.
1 annual budget? This is supposed to turn us off?
I say we turn NASA off for a year.
Turn NASA off. Just throttle
Clock
it
out.
for a year, like the UN will do with the internet.
Yep.
Yes, because as we all know, not paying anybody for a year is great for the economy. I mean, homelessness just helps it so much. And don't even get me started on the benefits of unemployment.
Throttle it a little bit and just start putting up the wall. It is that's not that expensive, particularly when you look at the economic ramifications. Positive ones when you stop illegal immigration. Next clip.
Actually, considering how illegal immigrants are giving back to the economy by taking jobs, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that illegal immigration shouldn't stop. I definitely should. I think illegal immigrants do need to be deported. However, they are still giving money back to the economy. It's not like, oh, they're just sitting here, they're leeching off of us. I mean, some are, and those definitely need to be stopped. But the ones that are being productive, members of society, okay, they maybe.
And by your estimate of visa overstays, the wall would still stop about half of America's 11 million illegal immigrants.
No, it wouldn't.
Hey, Steven Crowder, remember that point you made earlier that Adam Ruins Everything is about to debunk?
A little something called circular flow. Here, I'll show you. For decades, immigration to the U.S. was a circular flow. People would come, work for a bit, and then after they were done, go home to their families.
That's morally reprehensible.
Well, morality is subjective. However, I will give you that it doesn't sound like a very moral idea.
That was never what America was intended to be.
How do you know? Actually, America was, when Christopher Columbus came over here, intended to just have spices. So really, I don't think immigration had anything to do with, America until like the 1700s to the 1800s really is when immigration really started in the U.S.
It wasn't intended to be a revolving door so people could come in, abuse a system, and leave. You don't come to a country to drain from the country to send to other countries. That's not how a country works. That's not being ethnocentric. That's not being xenophobic. That's called having a country, okay?
Well, Steven Crowder, how should a country work?
Revolving door, they talk about people coming in revolving door to work and send back benefits. That's not right. You don't get to do that. You move here legally, period, right? We've already covered that. But the revolving door for work is very different from a revolving door for entitlements. People are going through the revolving door right now and not paying for health care and not paying taxes and getting all of the social benefits, the benefits from the social safety net from hardworking Americans.
And I do agree with you, those people need to be stopped. Now give me your point on how a giant wall will stop people who are already here from doing that. If anything, a wall would just make it harder for them to get back. Heck, if they're leeching off the benefits, shouldn't you want them to go back to your country? Because, they'd be going back. You are going against your own best interest here, Steven Crowder. Like, you are having the most contradictory viewpoint in the world.
It's never supposed to be a revolving door. And it's worse now because a lot of illegal immigrants aren't really coming here to work. Not all of them, but many of them are coming here and they're taking more than they're giving.
It's not like working in New York and then living in New Jersey.
No,
it's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different. Next clip.
It's counterintuitive, but building a wall wouldn't stop people from coming in. It would actually stop them from going back.
The number of illegal border crossings is actually at an all-time low.
No, that's not true. I have it up right here. Washington Examiner. Illegal border crossings by children and families are surging again and will put the fiscal year of 2016 on par with 2014. There's a chart for you. Here's why. Listen, at a certain point, of course, immigration is going to start slowing down because Mexico has dumped a tenth. 10% of its population have moved to the United States. So at a certain point, you're going to hit a critical mass of how many people can leave their crappy country to a better country, the United States.
I like how, with Crowder's stance against illegal immigration, it makes it sound like he just wants to brag about how awesome America is. Like, yeah, America's the best. Too bad you can't come here. Nah, 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 nah. What are you for?
Percent 12, maybe it'll go back to 8, it'll hover around there. Now, here's why this chart occurred. Because of the deportations, as they've plummeted, more people have been coming back in. And now we're facing the surge that we had in 2014. So the inverse is true of what they've said. As deportations have plummeted, as Barack Obama tried to act, and really what's happened is people are being treated more humanely, they would. Well, there's now all of a sudden we see this. You can see this sort of like a fat caterpillar in the graph. We have a problem with illegal immigration again, of course, and the problems that come with that. Draining on the system, the problem of the social safety net, of fiscal responsibility. Do we have more clips?
Oh my God, Adam, you're right. The wall isn't the answer.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I could help.
Millions of people are already here. We need to deport them. Yes, deportation is the answer.
No.
All right, there you go. Because of course it's racist to deport people who've broken.
Wait, when did they say that? They just said it was a bad idea, not that it was racist. Tons of things are bad ideas. Like, I don't know, me going up to someone and then high-fiving their foot is a horrible idea. Or, I don't know, me sticking my hand in a blender is a horrible idea. It doesn't make it racist for me to stick my hand in a blender. Or are you just projecting, Steven Crowder?
The law to come here illegally. Again, that's that sleight of hand. It starts off with, well, it would only help with maybe half, maybe 60, 73%. And so if you just hear that, you don't even think about it. You're thinking you heard 10%. You go, well, then that's silly. Why would we spend the whole NASA budget to stop 10%? No, you're spending actually a very reasonable budget, and we can get Mexico to pay for at least a portion of it if you look.
No, we can't. Mexico's a different country. We can't make them do anything.
Look at the actual plans and tariffs and what you can do with the transfer of money. Donald Trump isn't completely unrealistic to get them to pay for a portion.
Yes, he is. I've debunked this on my channel before.
Portion of it. You can pay for that. It's realistic. And that would deal with 60 to 70 something percent of illegal immigration. But if you don't understand what you're hearing, you go along with them down that logic trail and you follow them with false idea, false narrative to the point where deportation is racist. And you get to call Donald Trump or people like us racist.
I'm never calling Steven Crowder. I wasn't calling you racist until you were basically calling yourself, or until you were putting this show is calling me racist in a part that obviously wasn't. Then I'm calling you racist because it's obvious you're just projecting. Like, seriously, I think I could play some films off of your head if I wanted to.
Like me, who come from legal immigrants like my mom, who learn the language, who pay taxes, who are active contributing citizens, this idea that we don't take in enough legal immigrants, it's just not true. It's not even close. 50% of all immigrants since 1965 have come from Latin America, 29 from Mexico alone. That's not even taking into account people who come here illegally, who overstay visas. More people have come to the United States from Mexico than any other country in our modern history, okay? Over the past 44 years, I have these numbers. 6.65 million people have emigrated legally to the United States, compared to the previous world record holder, Italy, 4.5 million. It's not even close. This idea that we don't take enough Mexicans in legally, that it's incredibly hard. More legal people have come to the United States from Mexico by an unbelievable margin. It can be done. It's been done from Mexico more than any other country, and of course it's been done by plenty of other countries. So building a wall, beefing up the security, well, you have to decide, is it worth it to spend a relatively small...
No, beefing up the security is something completely different. The idea of building up a wall in general is stupid. However, if you're just talking about having greater border security, then I usually will tend to agree. And if you actually did mention that throughout the rest of your video, or heck, if Adam Conover mentioned it and I tried to debunk that, then maybe you'd have a point, Steven Crowder. But it seems like you're just saying, well, no, you're clearly against border security. What do you want? Open borders? Just because you think that building a giant wall will totally solve everything?
Amount to stop 60 to 70% of illegal immigration? I don't know. I leave that to you. Hey, Jared's laughing. This video is taken from the full weekly podcast, Louder with Crowder. Subscribe by clicking it. Jared's laughing because he just got shot. The loss of blood is making him delirious. Who shot him?
You, probably.
Guilty.
I knew it! So overall, I don't know enough about Steven Crowder to completely say he's stupid. However, this video is stupid. And really, that's really what it comes down to. Stephen Crowder's ideas about a wall are idiotic. I don't know if he's idiotic, but I know his ideas about walls are. And that's really it. I'm Ephrom Josine, good night.